Did you know that if you drink a glass of tap water, you're putting yourself at risk of consuming chemicals that lead to cancer, hormone disruption, and other serious health issues? Nearly half the water in the US is contaminated with harsh chemicals, and most people don't even know how bad these chemicals are for their body. This is why tap water should not be consumed in the US at all. I always grew up being told to avoid tap water, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized why, and now I'm so grateful for always avoiding it. I'm going to dive into the harsh truths about tap water in the US. So let's begin by talking about the contaminants in tap water. The water supply in the US is contaminated with PFAS, arsenic, lead, and other harmful chemicals. PFAS are polyfluorinated alkyl substances, and they're known as forever chemicals because they can't be broken down in the environment, so obviously they can't be broken down in your body. Consumer Reports and The Guardian did a study where they took 120 locations throughout the US to study the water quality there. The results of the study was that 118 of the 120 locations chosen were above the Consumer Reports recommended maximum level for PFAS and arsenic. The Consumer Reports test also found a probable link between exposure to PFAS and leading to a bunch of health issues. These include high cholesterol, ulcerative colitis, thyroid disease, testicular and kidney cancer, and learning delays in children. All really harmful effects. The U.S. Environment Protection Agency announced the nation's standards for the 6 forever chemicals back in March. And it should be known that PFAS are actually the same chemicals that you'll find in food packaging, the coating to nonstick pans, as well as what waterproofs clothing. They're so common nowadays that they're found in almost everyone, even newborns. Now that we've talked about the contaminants more specifically, let's discuss why this issue grew and has remained such a big issue in the US. Many issues concerning tap water went unnoticed for a lot of years in the past because most US citizens blindly trust the government to give them healthy drinking water, but that is not the case. According to the Environmental Work Group, there's not enough funding to replace the old pipelines that run our water supply and that are actually contaminating them because they're so old and have lead and other harmful chemicals lining them. The Environmental Work Group also says that regulation on federal water safety standards has not been updated in over 50 years. So as you can see, this is why the problem is only getting worse and not better. Also, the Environment Protection Agency is not moving fast enough to make new water guidelines. The National Resource Defense Council stated that chronic underinvestment has left water infrastructure outdated and on the verge of collapse in many places across the US. Now that I've spoke about why this problem has grown so prominent in the US, let's discuss how you can avoid consuming these chemicals and avoid drinking tap water. Tap water has so many harmful contaminants in it that any alternative to drinking it is better. So the first alternative that you can easily access is you can buy a filtered water bottle. So even if you don't have access to clean filtered water at the moment, you can put tap water into your water bottle and let the filter in it get out these harmful contaminants. The brand Clearly Filtered is actually a great brand that makes filtered water bottles and that have shown to remove these chemicals by up to 99.9%. Another alternative is buying water bottles. Mostly every brand will be safer than tap water, and the contaminants will be a lot less since they go through some type of filtration system. Lastly, and the more affordable option in the long run compared to buying water bottles so often, is installing your own water filter into your home on your sink. And the best type of water filter that you can get is a reverse osmosis filtration system. And this has proven to remove almost all the contaminants that are in our water. So now you have some alternatives to drinking tap water. I've talked about how serious the health risk can be from consuming the chemicals in tap water. The severity of the chemicals is why no one should consume tap water in the US. They're called forever chemicals for a reason, and they should not be put in your body at all. So next time you're thirsty and go to fill up a cup of water in the sink, I hope you stop and pick a better option that doesn't involve you consuming a mouthful of chemicals.